For the second time in a month, Toronto FC traveling to Columbus to take on the Crew. Gareth Wheeler with you in a very quick turnaround for Toronto FC. After coming back from the West Coast in a 1-0 victory over the Seattle Sounders Saturday, it will be Toronto FC's fourth game in just 14 days. But things have really turned around since Toronto FC's last visit to Columbus on April 15th. 4 consecutive victories, and they try to make some club history, winning 5 straight games, something they've never done before this Wednesday night. The Crew are a very difficult team. They're coming off a victory of their own over the course of the weekend, a 2-0 win over the New England Revolution. But the fact that Greg Vanney, the MLS Coach of the Week, has such a deep team has him confident ahead of their road travels.
I mean, my hardest job is choosing who I'm actually going to put on the field. I've been around a lot of teams in the past, and it's not that difficult sometimes to choose your 11. And this group it's very difficult. And we've got a lot of guys with a lot of ability who don't get to play all the time, and that's a luxury, but it's a challenge because we try to keep everybody engaged and happy. And during this stretch, everybody gets called upon. Everybody has to make a difference, and this will truly show, I think, the depth that we have.
The depth of the squad has been so impressive for TFC. 5 changes made to the starting 11, a victory in Seattle, and the 4 players that did not make the trip out to the West Coast expected to play a role this Wednesday night. Columbus has been struggling to a certain degree despite winning on the weekend. Since their last meeting with Toronto FC, they've dropped 2 of 3 matches. Artur out of the lineup with a wrist injury, and Alex Cronali is an absolute beast at center back. Did a job against TFC last time. He's dealing with an ankle injury. He's questionable for this Wednesday night. So TFC feeling good, scoring 8 goals, only conceding twice over their last 4 games. Let's get straight to it. Our keys to the match. There's one man that can beat you on Columbus, and that is Federico Higuain. So the key is heads up for Higuain. Federico operates in the middle of the park, has a freelance role, really creates everything that's good for Columbus, especially on the counterattack. He drops deep, he can bring midfield players out of their position, filling or opening up holes or gaps for other players to attack. And that's where Columbus did well last time out against Toronto FC, attacking on the counter with speed, pace, and really decisiveness. TFC needs to be wary of Higuain at all times. Has 4 assists on the season. He is the straw that stirs the drink. Heads up for Higuain, a clear key to the game. The second key to the match, set-piece superiority. Both teams scored from a set piece, actually a corner kick in the last time out between these 2 groups. There's a lot of big bodies in the mix, as well as players that can execute. For Toronto FC, Victor Vasquez leads the MLS in assists per game. His service from corners especially has been spot on over the course of the early season. Altidor's goal was picture perfect last time out. And the other way, defending set pieces is likewise all important with so many big bodies. With the Columbus Crew able to get up in the air, use their physicality to their advantage. Justin Meram scored the goal right before halftime after a knockdown on a corner kick, so TFC needs to be wary defensively. One player I'm keeping my eye on, Nick Hagglund, has been so good in the air. You just feel like a goal is coming his way from an attacking perspective, and defensively there are few defenders better at defending through the air than Nick Hagglund in all of MLS, so set pieces could prove vital come Wednesday night. And finally, do not beat yourself. Toronto FC played a good, very good 35 minutes of football in Columbus before giving away the game. There was 5 or 6 minutes of madness leading into halftime that cost them 2 goals and inevitably was too much to come back from. Cheap giveaways, being dragged out of position. These are things that simply cannot happen against a very good Columbus Crew team. It's a Crew group that doesn't have a lot of flash, but they're very well structured and they will capitalize on mistakes. Their head coach, Greg Berhalter, suspended for this week's match, so they'll be missing the man who'll be barking out orders, and perhaps you can take advantage that way. Just play within yourself and don't give Columbus Crew anything to jump on. Just keep it simple and reap the advantages of that. So a big Eastern Conference showdown. Toronto FC atop the Eastern Conference on 19 points. The Crew just 3 points back. So a big one will play out in Columbus, 7:30 p.m. Wednesday night. You can watch on TSN 4 and 5 and listen on TSN Radio.